So today is our campus day, followed by our workout later on. And so here we are for our morning session of 45 minutes of campusing. Going into the session, I was hoping to kind of finish off a few of the boulders that we've been trying for the past couple weeks. We have like 3 boulders that we've been working mainly. We haven't made any new ones up in a while yet, so this was kind of the last day I wanted to spend on that, on our original set. And here you can see this is just a boulder that's kind of like the end of my little campus warm-up. I decided to film because it's pretty smooth, pretty flowy boulder. But yeah, I'll usually boulder warm-up for like 10 minutes and then finish by campusing around on some jugs for like another 10 minutes. And then throughout that 10 minutes, I just gradually campus on smaller and smaller holds, and then I start my session. And so you can see this climb, we've probably tried for like 2 or 3 sessions now with these pink edges. And I was feeling quite strong today, actually. Probably the strongest campus session we've had on this wall in terms of how I was feeling. And so I decided that I was going to give that boulder like a few tries, and if it really just doesn't feel like it's going to go, then I'm going to stop working it. And that was kind of the case. I've just never been able to hold that left hand edge. It's really bad. It's like pretty slopey and jammed right against the wall, so it's really blocked. And it always felt like kind of possible, but I can stick the hold, but I never felt like I could pull off of it. So yeah, I'm just conceding on that boulder. It's not quite gonna go, but I had a good time working it. And so now this boulder here was the big target of the session, our spin move that we've been trying now, probably for like 3 or 4 sessions. And I was feeling super good. I knew after the first couple tries on this boulder that it was gonna go today. There's no doubt about it. I just had to execute. And as you can see, after falling a couple tries on the bottom, I decided to give the ending a quick run to make sure I had the muscle memory fired. And I did the last sequence on my first try, and it felt like super solid too, so I was feeling really good. And then here's another ground try. I'm kind of close to this move, but not quite. But it was feeling like so good. The crimps felt, my fingers felt strong today, and I felt like I could just try really hard, which was a lot of fun. And you'll notice that over the past few sessions when we've been trying this boulder, I've kind of naturally developed this thing where when I do the spin and I hit the pink pinch, I flip my left hand. And that's not something that I intended when I made this boulder. You see, I finally stick this move. So satisfying. It's such a cool sequence. But yeah, I do the hand flip, and I'm kind of just pinching the volume with the crimp as like a thumb catch. And it just gives me that little extra support to reel the move back in. But what a cool boulder. This boulder is so awesome. I really like this campus boulder. And I wasn't able to stick the last move. I thought I had it actually. I think one of the hands just kind of missed a bit. But that last move is really hard to do after doing all the bottom moves. This boulder is just very exhausting. And that last attempt, I tried super hard, and it zapped my energy quite a bit. And I was probably going to move on from the boulder, but I kind of was sitting there on the mat thinking about it, and I decided to give it one more attempt. So I rested for quite a while and got super fired up, and that was almost as close to a 10 as you can get that last attempt. So it's a lot of times it's hard to kind of have the motivation to go and really try hard to send this boulder after I almost sent it, and that was almost as satisfying of an attempt as it will get. So I really tried hard to summon some motivation, and I gave it another really good try here. I kind of fumbled an earlier move though, going to that yellow crimp, and it kind of wasted a bit of energy, and it psyched me out a bit. And then I hit this red hold with just 3 fingers, and I had to try so hard to stay on that wall on that move. I don't know if it kind of came across in the camera, but yeah, I had 3 fingers on that greasy red hold, and I was just eyes closed. I felt like my fingers were really straining to hold on there, and I didn't have much hope for the last move, and I wasn't able to stick it, but that was a good fight that we gave on that boulder. But after the first time I got through that sequence, that attempt really zapped me, and then this one was even worse. I tried so hard on that last try that it really just used up all my energy, and all of a sudden I went from feeling really strong in this camp session to still feeling strong, but a bit tired now. So this was probably 30 minutes in. So we have 15 minutes left in the session, and I decided to really give a proper effort to this pinchy boulder that we keep kind of trying at the end of our session when I'm a bit more fatigued obviously than the beginning, and so I never quite am able to do this sequence here. but I thought that I would have just enough energy to do it. But I really zapped myself on that last boulder. I think if I had gotten on this boulder like for the first boulder of the day, it would have gone first try. I kind of expected to send this boulder, but for some reason I just wasn't finding the right body position on this crux move with the pinch and this really bad undercling. I wasn't finding like the swing to the left that I was talking about the last time we were working this boulder. I kept trying to pull for the move, and then I could tell something was wrong, so I had to stop, and then as soon as you hesitate on that move, all of a sudden your grip kind of gets zapped, and then I just fall. And so I was kind of not able to really give this boulder my best effort. And you know, this will happen sometimes in any sort of session that you have, whether it be campusing or just projecting. If you kind of have some early success in your session, like let's say you send your project or you make some progress on a boulder that you've been trying for a while, sometimes like you can almost just kind of be satisfied with the session, and your try hard can kind of disappear, and all of a sudden you don't have that motivation to kind of give as much of a fight as you normally would on your next project or another boulder in the session, because you kind of are just already satisfied with the session. At least that's what I find. Here, for example, I was kind of satisfied that I had almost sent that boulder, and I was counting that as kind of like a success, and already I had it. This session was kind of like in the bag. It was I could tick this off as a good session because I made some progress on boulder. And so maybe I didn't try as hard as I should have on this last boulder. I didn't really make any progress. And that can actually be a theme in like when you're competing as well. You know, say you got your 5 on 5 off round and you top the first 3 boulders or something, and then you're kind of satisfied with your round, and you can let your try hard slip away from you on the last couple boulders, and it can bite you in the butt. And so I try to be conscious of that, and I was maybe not too conscious of it in this session. I was trying hard on that last boulder, but I was definitely pretty satisfied with the session, and maybe could have tried a bit harder to get the send of that pinch boulder. That one is probably easier than the crimped, like the spin move boulder, but I feel like I've always been underperforming on that boulder. It's weird. I think I should have been able to send that by now. It's pretty in my wheelhouse with just that line of pinches. So hopefully next session we can put that away. That's probably the only boulder left of our original set that I'll continue to try. Everything else I think I'm done with. Like the first boulder with the pink edges, I'll definitely move on from that. I don't think that move goes in the middle there. I'm gonna concede to that one. And then the spin boulder, yeah, like we're done with that. We almost got the sand a couple times. Got a lot of value from that boulder. It was pretty good. And then I don't think we have any others. Just that pinchy one. I think we'll probably stick with that. And then make up a few new ones, which would be fun. And so what we're doing today is the same thing we did with our last campus session and workout. I had a good amount of energy, and I'm still kind of at that threshold of my hangs where the weight is not pushing my maximum capabilities yet, so I can afford to, let's say, have my gas tank at 75% going into the hangboard and workout. Whereas, like, let's say I was going to do a 100-pound hang or a 110-pound hang, I would force myself to rest for 3 hours and make sure my gas tank's at 100%. But yeah, I'm doing the workout and the hangboard like right after the campus session. And so our crimp hangs today were 90 pounds. So like I was saying, that's probably the last time that I can do my hangboard right after the campus session. 90 pounds is probably, that's like the cap. When we move into 100 pounds for the next session, I definitely have to rest. I found like in that hangboard session, my first two sets were pretty solid, and then my last ones I had to try really hard because the fatigue just started setting in. But yeah, like the first couple sets while I had energy were fine. But yeah, so also with this workout, or at least the hangs and pinches portion, since we're starting this next phase of our training, this kind of week and a half phase where we're doing a mixture of like the strength training and spray wall and throwing in some boulder sessions as well. We're just kind of adjusting a couple of our sets for hangs and pinches. So we're, instead of doing 5 sets of 2 reps of 5 seconds, we're just doing 4 sets of 2 reps of 5 seconds. So we're just taking a set off of our hangs and pinches. And that kind of worked out nicely with my weight bump on hangboard, because I probably would not have been able to do 90 pounds for 5 sets, but 4 was the perfect amount. It was like the perfect threshold. I felt like that last set I did was like really a struggle. And so yeah, like we always start off at 5 sets of 2 reps, 5 seconds, and that's like the highest sort of volume I'll give myself when I'm trying to ease into a program. And then what I'll do is I'll usually go down to 4 sets for like another week and a half, and then and then maybe sometimes I'll go down to 3 sets, still at 2 reps for the hangs and pinches. And then the next decrease is what we do is, instead of just cutting the sets even shorter, then we switch into our 2 to 5 second hangs and pinch, and we do like 6 sets of 1 rep. So that's kind of like my how I flow through my hangs and pinches. I usually go like 5 sets, 4 sets, 3 sets, and then I switch to 6 sets of 1 rep. So yeah, but like our dips and our pistol squats that we're still continuing with aren't changing quite yet. I'm taking like a much slower approach with these couple exercises, so we're still at our 4 rep range of 3 sets. And then yeah, so we have like kind of a week and a half left in this cycle of this just like little phase of our training right before a rest week. So this is like 1, 2, 4, 6 days of training, this little phase, and then we'll have a rest week, and then after that the training will switch up pretty substantially. I'll probably switch up the workout quite a bit. I'll add in some exercises, like I mentioned this at the beginning of the program. I'm gonna add in some plyometrics. I feel like I need some jumping power, as you can tell, like from that boulder yesterday, is like that we were working at Studio Block, that little run across. I was just getting my butt kicked on that. That's definitely, I can feel my jumping power is lacking, and so I'll need to work on that before, like, we have one kind of comp that we're doing, the Jackalope, at the end of August. Not like a super serious comp, it's more of a fun event, but still it'd be nice to just kind of feel solid and in comp shape to do it. So yeah, that'll be exciting. So anyway, that concludes today's day of training. Tomorrow is a rest day, and then I think it's back to boulder vault for some spray wall sessions.